In the Thar Desert, 18 kilometers from Jaisalmer, there is a village that has been empty for over 200 years. The houses are still standing. The temple is still at the center of the settlement. The streets still follow a precise planned grid. And there is not a single person living there. There hasn't been since the early 1800s. The village is called Kuldhara. At its peak, it held over 1,000 people. By 1890, the population was 37. By 1900, it was 0. Nobody left a written account of why. The people who built Kuldhara were called the Paliwal Brahmins. And to understand what was lost, you need to understand what they had built. The Thar Desert receives less than 50 millimeters of rain a year. Temperatures hit 50 degrees Celsius. By any conventional measure, you cannot run a prosperous agricultural village here. The Paliwals did it for 500 years. They invented a water harvesting system called the Kadin, an earthen embankment that captures monsoon runoff and holds it in the soil long enough to grow crops through the dry season without a single irrigation. They built 650 interconnected Kadins across 84 villages in the Jaisalmer region. Modern agricultural researchers have studied this system for decades. It still works. Kuldhara itself had double-story sandstone houses with carved facades, underground storage cellars, and inner courtyards. This was not a subsistence community. This was a civilization. The local legend says a man named Salim Singh, the Diwan of Jaisalmer, demanded the village chief's daughter for marriage. The Paliwals refused. Overnight, every person in every Paliwal village vanished into the desert darkness. Before leaving, they cursed the land so it could never be resettled. It is a powerful story, and the historical record doesn't support it. Kuldhara's population was already down to 800 by 1815, before any supposed single-night exodus in 1825. By 1890, only 37 remained. This is not what an overnight departure looks like. This is what a slow collapse looks like. The water evidence is more damning. A pillar inscription records that the village stepwell was commissioned in 1757 because the existing wells were already failing. By 1815, most of Kuldhara's wells had dried up completely. By 1850, only the stepwell and 2 others were still functional. A community whose entire existence depended on sophisticated water management was watching its water disappear. When the water goes in the Thar Desert, everything goes with it. In 2017, a team led by A.B. Roy published a study in Current Science that added a third explanation. They examined the physical structures at Kuldhara and the surrounding abandoned Paliwal villages and found evidence of a seismic event: collapsed roofs, fallen joists, toppled lintels, downed pillars, the signature pattern of earthquake damage, not gradual abandonment. Their conclusion: an earthquake likely destroyed the water table beneath the Paliwal settlements, explaining both the structural collapse and the sudden disappearance of well water that the historical record already documents. This hasn't been proven, but it is the only explanation that accounts for all 3 things at once: the structural damage, the water failure, and the speed of the population decline. Salim Singh was real. British officer James Todd described him in writing as a rapacious monster. Oppressive taxation under his rule is documented. The Paliwals were wealthy, which made them a target. But taxation alone does not empty 84 villages simultaneously and permanently, with no surviving written record from the people who left, no account of where they went, and no attempt to return even after Salim Singh was long dead. My read, the earthquake destroyed the infrastructure and the water. Salim Singh made staying politically impossible. The desert was already reclaiming the land. All three were probably true simultaneously. What I cannot explain, and what no theory has explained, is the silence. The Paliwal community still exists. Their descendants resettled elsewhere in Rajasthan. They were educated, organized, connected. They had every means to record what happened. They didn't. Not one written account. Not one first-person record of the night they left, what they saw, where they went. That silence is the open part of this case, and it is the part that bothers me most. The ruins of Kuldhara are a protected monument under the Archaeological Survey of India. The wells are still dry. What's your theory? Earthquake? Diwan? Water? Or something the evidence hasn't pointed to yet? Tell me in the comments. Next case. A British regiment marched into no man's land in 1914 and was never seen again. No bodies. No explanation. Still listed as missing. Subscribe so you don't miss it.